Wowee, it's up. Have a look at the beauty. What a beautiful sail. It's just hardly any wind, but that's how I like it. And I don't know whether I've jagged it or it's a few things are wrong, but it seems to be controlled all right.
Hello viewers, my name is Jan Speck and this is my YouTube channel Full Spinnaker Ahead. It's all about living aboard and sailing, adventures with Tuncurry, my 46 foot aluminium sailing catamaran.
I can't believe it, eh? That's amazing. After all of these time of thinking about it, it's finally happened.
I've owned Tuncurry for 2 years and 8 months and lived on board all that time. Diagnosed with cancer about the same time as purchasing my dream boat. Juggling the medical requirements of my cancer, we've managed to sail down and up the east coast of Australia, over to Tasmania and back, and around the Gippsland Lakes of Victoria, Australia, my home port. No stranger to doing things solo and DIY with renewed standing rigging, well repaired cracks in the hull, realign the engines, sail repairs, replace the mainsails, water tanks, rescun, the list will go on. I've learned a lot and I still have a lot to learn. One thing that hasn't changed is the desire to sail Tuncurry as far around this planet as I can, bringing you, the viewers, that story. I'm making this title page up in Airlie Beach after a 5-week bout of the shingles.
Yep. Yeah, we found a deep spot.
Shingles is a viral infection and I had it for 5 weeks. I was seriously sick for 5 weeks and it was an eye opener, and I realised how vulnerable I could be being immune compromised. So I'm making a change in plans and making a base down south where I could work and place where I could seek the medical help more easily if I should fall ill again. A slight delay in my plans, but one that I think will work.
Yeah, g'day. I've spent a lot of time in this bed over the last 5 weeks.
The catch cry of my YouTube channel, Full Spinnaker Ahead to your dreams, because you never know what's around the corner, now has a lot more meaning after having shingles. It's the rewards of boating life that make it all worthwhile. Over the blue seas of the east coast, Tuncurry glides, taking us to places that we dream of in lullabies. Full Spinnaker ahead to your dreams. Leaving Port Stephens on a nice day, we still see the remnants of the storm that we had probably about a week ago by now. Well, not even that, 3 days. Still a bit of swell, producing some really nice water displays, and of course the cliff faces are amazing. I like Port Stephens. It's a great place to visit because there's no sandbar at the entrance to deal with. It's got tricolour light to come in at night, and it's a really extensive bay which I haven't really explored yet, but it goes back into the estuaries, which one day I'll put that on my list. This cliff shot here with the Easter Island figures on the cliff face. wait for it. There they are. There's a boat in between those waves. How cool is that? Passing out of Port Stephens on the northern side is Cabbage Tree Island. Also, we're greeted with current lines of debris. A lot of small twigs in the water of all different sizes, which later that night we found a real nuisance, and we had to stand out on the bow with torches and turn the motor on and off or avoid them because they were clunking on the propeller.
Jesus, calm down, mate.
Got to take the hook out. Yeah, get that out. You got that come out easy.
Looks like you didn't lose him. Woo. Good now.
Careful.
I know. Jesus, this guy's got a lot of life in him.
He's fighting for his life, that's why.
I don't think Felix had filleted too many fish, but he'd done an awesome job here, and it was very tasty. I haven't had much mahi before, but it's beautiful.
Good morning, we're here at Tuncurry Forster, northern mid New South Wales. Yesterday the predicted wind was light northerlies. Decided to go out in it and try and tinker up the coastline, which we sort of did, but it went more on the nose towards the end of our passage and didn't get to a little seaway or a little ocean mooring. Didn't want to go in there at night, so kept sailing and tried to tack into the wind, but it just didn't work. We're basically going backwards. So I motored for about 5 hours, got to Tuncurry early in the dark and also not quite the right tide, and I've just been doing a few jobs, cleaning myself. Then I had a shower, made some brekkie, cleaned the front of the deck, the grass patch. That's the grass patch that the dogs poo on, and it's always pretty full because we've got 2 dogs on board at the moment. The shearwaters are just flying around everywhere at the moment. I don't know if you can see them. There's something going on. Yeah, about to motor into Tuncurry, just inside of the entrance to see what it looks like. There's a bit of swell out here, so it's pretty deep by what the map said. Never been in there before, so I just got to go and visualise it and see what's going on. The old Tuncurry Marine Rescue might give me a bit of a hand, but they don't generally hand out information, they just hand out facts, because they don't like to give opinions, I don't think. Righto, catch you later.
A handy book to have for cruising the New South Wales coast and also the Coral Coast is Alan Lucas's Bible. I'll just give you an example of a lot of the information he has. Like, this is Forster Tuncurry. It shows you the approach in and the lead markers. and it also shows you the depth. In particular here, it tells you that it's Tuncurry on the north bank, Forster on the south bank. There's a bridge going across there, a sandbank in the middle, and then two entrances, one on the Tuncurry side where we went in first, and it's got a little anchor symbol here where it got a little anchor symbol there where it says where you can anchor. We had to anchor there with a anchor forward and aft because you didn't have enough swing room. And then later on we motored around to this side because we had to get some water from a jetty in here, and there was a couple of courtesy moorings just there with a bit of room to swing around, and probably a better place to moor. But a really good book and not a bad way of showing you what's going on. Well recommended. This footage was taken upside down. It's a bit hard to take, but we're just putting a bit of a temporary fix on the bottom of the boat here. It's actually the step on the inside. It was a few screws along there. There's some sort of a hatch there. I'm not quite sure what it is, but the water's drawing in there when the seas are up. Yeah, just putting a bit of a polyurethane on it to try and stop that seeping inside. Before leaving Tuncurry, Forster, we got some water at one of the jetties.
I just took that bit out. So
It had a bit of a leak on top of the tap there, which is a bit unfortunate, but
yes,
we filled the tanks. And then headed off to out again to and ended up at Crowdy Head, which was a bit of a different style of anchorage. It's like a little harbour, but it's really cops a surge because it's not really that protected from the swell from the outside, and you're sitting in there more to the jetty, and you're getting this constant up and down movement, which made me think you'd be really vulnerable in a storm. And we did end up getting a thunderstorm one night, as a bit of footage up here shows you, and I sort of thought to myself, I wish I wasn't hooked up to this jetty. It'd be better to be anchored in the middle of that harbour with your nose pointing out to the entrance. It didn't happen, but if it had happened, it would have been okay for a big commercial fishing boat. You can see in this shot here, you can see the old fishing co-op shed, and we're parked on the fishing jetty. You'd sort of want a fairly robust boat to handle that up and down surge if the really storm did come in that gateway to the harbour. We took the advantage here of trying the Spinnaker, and it was all just little steps to eventually getting that Spinnaker up. We ended up going out leaving Crowdy Head and trying the Spinnaker, but the winds just weren't good enough. These are the nav lights to Crowdy Head Harbour, and this is the footage when the lightning show was in the distance, but the actual storm never came, which was really fortunate. Really glad that we played around with the Spinnaker, even though we didn't get it to fly properly. It's just handling all the ropes and the mechanisms, like the sausage system here, where the sausage contains the Spinnaker, and you just slide it up. Just using all that for the first time made it the eventual early beach success of the Spinnaker possible. So the wind here just wasn't in the right direction, and what I was concerned about is if you let the sail expand like it has and then it flaps back around all the rigging, it's only got to catch itself on a little like a split pin or something a little bit sharp, and it'll just tear your spinnaker. So you really do need the wind in a positive fashion. Just like the way you can use that sausage and just snuff the sail when things aren't, when you just want to pull it down, it just snuffs it straight away. I think that's a really good thing, because you're putting a sail up and the wind gets too much for it. You just want to be able to control it by taking it out of the picture, and that works really well. The wind was light, and we had an option of going into Camden Haven, as you can see it here. There was big sets coming in and then a good space of nothing, and I just couldn't see us outrunning that, and they just looked a bit too big. You can see this little craft come in and he can just sit behind one of the waves in between them and just use his power, but the old Toucan doesn't have anywhere near that amount of power, and you're eventually going to get that wave overrunning you and pushing you, and they just looked a bit big to me. So I moved on, and shortly after I moved on, a mono came in and just drove straight in. But that's how it goes. You just got to make your judgment and stick with it. So after balking at Camden Haven, we moved on and sailed through the night once again past Port Macquarie and on to Coffs Harbour, which is all the next episode. We're interesting storm in Coffs Harbour. So look forward to seeing you in the next episode, 27 of Full Spinnaker Ahead. Thanks for watching.